Can I be heard? Where is my chat at? Okay. Well, fucking A. Hooray, it's working. Excellent. Well, how's everyone doing? I just need to fix the chat. That's good enough. Not many people are gonna be here anyway. That's for Nelia. Well, um, all I really did was take the PC apart and then put it back together. And now it's not as hot running as it was. It could almost be used to fry eggs. Now it's only half of that, so I think I made progress. What up, Firemango? I would have done some stuff today, but last 2 days my PC's been acting like it's older than me. Gotta get top of chat today. I missed the last stream since I joined late. Gotta keep my rank 1, top 1%, undefeated, undisputed title. Okay. There we go, audio. Yeah, no, when I reset everything and replugged everything in, I had to redo all the settings. I had to reset BIOS and everything. So I had to redo all the connections and fix OBS as well. Yes, I can be heard. That's excellent to hear. Great. It says I'm live. I don't know why this page is frozen. That doesn't make any sense. It says there's 4. There's only one of you in chat. So YouTube's lying to me. Again. Well, anyhow, how's everybody doing? It shows 4 on your end as well? Well, it's probably bots then. Um, but yeah, so, are y'all ready for nuclear war? I'm not. I'm too close. I'm right next to a major strategic target. And they'd hit this sucker with every nerve they got if they could. We're dead. We're all dead. Oh well, too bad. So fucking sad. Hey, what's up, Scrug? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. If this is your first time, have a good one. Hopefully things are going well for now. the poll is for people to let me know. That way, it's kind of like part of a cheat sheet. Because now YouTube requires you to not only view a video, because views don't count by themselves anymore. The threshold's higher now. You have to watch the video or watch stream. You have to click like, and then you have to share it, and then you have to chat or comment. Otherwise, YouTube doesn't count you as human. It's just them making sure small creators don't have a good time. That's all. Fire Mango, Scrug or Tom has been around. Who's Tom? Well, anyway, welcome, Scrug. Oh wait, are you saying Scrug was one of those that was on Nilia's stream, I believe, when her apartment complex had the shooting? Oh, Tom in Discord. Okay, so you're Scrug here. I didn't know that. Well, I mean, welcome to the stream. I'll just call you Scrog because it's easier. And I'll call you Tom on Discord. Any schmoozle, how's everyone doing? Let me check Discord, actually. Wait, did I forget to redo it? No, I didn't. Woo! Scrub, all good? Okay, that's good to hear. My mouse is a little slow nowadays, but that's fine. Oh, Jesus. I haven't even done this one yet. And Commander Wolf isn't even here. Fun. Because I can't do none of this other shit on the stream. Well, that one I gave to Nelia, because I've already seen this video myself. I figured it'd be better for Nelia to do this one, because she's never, when I asked her about it, she said she never seen this one, because I sent her a bunch of links. And so I was like, okay, do this one, because I already seen this one. And I already knew all about Cassius Clay and all that stuff. I already knew about him. But yeah, I'm pretty sure none of the rest of this I could do live. Yeah, no, I can't do any of the other parts on live. Mango, prepare to start cranking them out. Well, I guess I'll just do that all day tomorrow. I've already seen this one. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've already seen that one. So it wouldn't be a genuine reaction. I don't think I've seen this one. Maybe. Well, anyway. So I figure I'll grab what I can. Oh, wait, this is from JD. Damn, Mango, do you have anything that's not copyrighted? Because I don't see shit that's not copyrighted. This is from Commander Wolf. Oh, I forgot to do this one. That'll have to be a upload. Oh, okay. Let me look.
Yeah.
Who's this? Well, who's Garn? I don't know who Garn is. Is he gonna... Oh, he's probably one of those that, like, tells you about being a scaffolder or laborer or some shit, right? The blue collar Aussie shit poster. So he's a troll? It's a good fucking laugh, mate. No, just watch it. All right, I will. Scrog. How do you tell if it's copyrighted? If it's music, or if you look up through YouTube, or you use search, and if it shows up on search with any type of restrictions or warnings or any type of disclaimers saying, hey, this is not public domain or Creative Commons or nothing. Basically, if it's not original content that they don't openly declare is not at all copyright, and they say it's free use, Creative Commons, public domain, and all that shit. If they don't declare it directly so, it's copyright. Which is why all the other stuff that I do is uploads only. Because you can get away with doing copyright material if it's an upload. Maybe. You have a 50-50 shot. If they block you in every country, then it... Or they'll tell you, hey, you can't upload it. So, okay, let me go to the, let me go to studio and show y'all some shit. Here's the studio. Again, in case she's watching, because she does watch my stuff to like go to sleep and shit. But yeah, thank you, Nelia. I appreciate it again. Hope works okay and everything. Anywho, so I'll show you this, right? So here is where it gives you like, it says restrictions in the studio. All right, so for Nelia's reaction, it says none. Why? Because the fat electrician does not strike nobody. He doesn't drag nobody down, and he likes working with other people. He doesn't care about his stuff being used by anyone, long as they don't just straight up steal it, which would be pretty freaking hard to do. But he doesn't do that, right? And he openly makes it to where everybody can do whatever. All right, now take Love Bites for example. Love Bites does copyright. They copyright. Meaning, right, that there's restrictions. I can upload it, right? I can do the request of reaction, but I cannot monetize it, and they allow it to be used, but only if you're doing it for free. So you don't, and then let's say that somebody else, let's say the Wolfpack, right? That's the fan club of the Love Bites. They call themselves the Wolfpack. Actually, I forgot why they call themselves the Wolfpack, but it's irrelevant. Let's say the Wolfpack is like, oh, we hate this, gaijin dog, and we don't want him to enjoy our Japanese metal queens. And he loves Miyoko too much, so we're gonna make sure he can't ever do nothing with the love bites again, right? It would only take a few of them to do their own copyright, claims through YouTube to get this taken down. Love bites themselves doesn't need to do anything. And so let's say there's an artist that doesn't allow, right? Because it says up here, copyright protected content found. The owner allows the content to be used on YouTube. Let's say Love Bites decides, okay, we don't want some old dude gunking up our brand and we hate him now. And we found his videos offensive or something. Who knows? Well, then they could decide that this copyright can become a strike at any moment. Or their company could, right? That's about the short of it, really. So, when it comes to the Fat Electrician, all of his content is original, sourced from himself, by himself, for himself, and it's all his own creation. So, since it's that, and he doesn't claim it like that, he doesn't do copyright, nothing, it's unrestricted. And then there's some, let me see if I find some that, there's some like this one, like Eileen, okay? Because of how they do their copyright, and they don't allow people to use it, right? Which is what this means. What this means is that they don't want people to use any part of their content or their whatever, their video or nothing, but they don't go hard after people for it, but they don't like it. That's why it'll say something like partially blocked, because they realize, Eileen does, they realize, this is my guess at least, in my experience of doing this for a decade, they realize that if they allow people to do reactions or to use their content to clip it and stuff, it's free advertisement. It spreads their reach further, and it pushes them up in the algorithm the more people use it. However, it's partially blocked, right? Because they don't want the chance of them losing money from it. They want all the money for themselves. So it's copyright, and it's also restricted with a partial block in a lot of countries. So there's that. Speaking of which, I don't remember who wanted me to do that one. Well, anyway, now you see a bunch of others that are copyright, right? But there's no blocking or nothing. Let's go deeper. Blocked. I did a full reaction. To Matt Walsh's "What Is a Woman" movie, the documentary he made. It was very good, by the way. Nope, still blocked. So yeah, the Daily Wire is Corporal Borpos, so it makes sense that they copyright the whole goddamn thing. Even though I do substantial pauses throughout the whole thing. I got the original downloaded, but not shit I could do about that. But anyway, if the copyright's strong enough, they just straight block it. I didn't get a strike because it never went up in the first place, and I can't monetize it anyway, so nothing counts for that one, right? So when it comes to this one, that's corpo copyright strikes, like you're not allowed to do nothing with it at all. Unless you're someone big enough that can fight them for it, then that's a different story. I'm not big. But yeah, stuff like that. You get what I mean? Or here's another partial block one. Baby metal. Partially blocked. It got some views. Not very much, but nobody cares about that. Well, anyway. Back to it. Alright, so, let's see. Oh, y'all are playing with the poll, huh? You're funny. Any smoozle. Okay. Let me make sure this ain't copyright.
Yeah, mate, bloody operators. The kings are working smarter, not harder, mate.
God, those are fucking annoying. Where is the about shit? There we go. It doesn't say nothing about copyright, so...
Yeah, mate, bloody scaffolders. The only trade in the...
Scrog, thanks for getting in depth on that. Would be nice to know copyright for sure beforehand. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I gotta be ultra paranoid. I've had 10 channels on YouTube now that have been nuked by YouTube for every freaking reason they can come up with under the sun. All right. Well, Fire Mango, you sent me something. Let's hear it.
Yeah, mate, bloody scaffolders. The only trade in the world that knows ahead of time when the random drug tests are. And that's because there wouldn't be a single bloke here, mate, that wouldn't burn a hole clean through the bottom of a piss test. If they turned up unannounced on a random Tuesday with a couple of yellow containers, the whole industry'd go under.
Oh, shit. Oh, damn. Man. Oh, damn. You know what? I mean, look. Long as the work gets done. Fire Mango, turn off closed captions. Why? Why turn off the closed captions? Is there something I know that's supposed to be special somewhere? You just don't like him. Interesante, mijo. Well, anyway, let's continue.
Scaffolders. The only trade in the world that knows ahead of time when the random drug tests are. And that's because there wouldn't be a single bloke here, mate, that wouldn't burn a hole clean through the bottom of a piss test. If they turned up unannounced on a random Tuesday with a couple of yellow containers, the whole industry'd go under. I mean, these blokes are highly trained machines built for two...
He does the look really well, too. He does the look really well. He does look like a dope. I like it.
things, converting various illicit substances into high-rise buildings and accumulating assault charges. And people carry on like scaffolders having a couple of...
Dude just busts out a knife. Let's go, fucker!
high-rise buildings and accumulating assault charges. And people
He's just like, Oh, shit. Oh, no. Funny, I feel like that's a double entendre because the knife crime and all of the British Commonwealth is skyrocketed because they took away all the guns. So, I mean,
carry on like scaffolders having a couple of hundred DUIs is a bad thing. But I reckon if you're the only bloke on site that didn't have 56 Jim Beam cans pulled out of the work ute by a cop on the way here, you're probably a cop yourself, or undercover work safe. I mean, that's really the only way to tell if you got a good crew of scaffolders or not, is if or undercover work safe.
I love how he does I love how he does like the vacant look so well. He does that look where it's like, I can look in two different directions, mate.
Safe. I mean, that's really the only way to tell if you got a good crew of scaffolders or not, is if leaving site every day sounds like the woodwind section at an orchestra. Yeah, but it's true, mate.
The freaking what's it called? The breathalyzer that's attached to the ignition. Stuff's hilarious. Stuff's hilarious. Still too easy to fool, because all you need is a pump with clean air, and that's it. They don't even install cameras to ensure it's you doing it. You just need a pump. Whew. Done, son. People beat that shit all the time.
Scaffolding is easily the most accessible trade in the country. I mean, the only thing you need to be a scaffolder in Australia is a New Zealand birth certificate.
Oh shit, talking shit about the immigration. I like it. I like it. Fire Mango, you just have the apprentice go around and blow into it. Yeah, you could do that too. Unless you know the apprentice is as dirty as you, then you gotta use the pump. Yeah, you just need a little hand pump, that's all. Just, boop, done.
Every one of them comes with a free high-risk work licence and a scaff ticket. But don't think you can just turn up and chuck a harness on, mate. There's a few things you got to know about scaffolding first. First one being the dress code, and it doesn't matter what setup you're rocking, mate, the collars and socks must be tucked in. Why? No one fucking knows.
Your collars and socks have to be tucked in. Why? Nobody fucking knows. That's hilarious. That's like some type of shit that like new soldiers would just pass off to other new soldiers. Why do we have to tuck the bottom part of our uniform into our boot? Why do we have to keep our cuffs, buttoned up? And always at the third or the farthest button. Dude, I don't know. Nobody told me why. We're just doing it for uniform and shit. I'm like, it sounds just like that.
And anyone who claims to know just fucking made it up. And don't think you can just rock up one day with a bum bag on either, because there's only one of those allowed per site, mate. And that goes on the same bloke that gets around with the boombox strapped to him. Every crew's got...
There's a what?
Fucking made it up. And don't think you can just rock up one day with a bum bag on either, because there's only one of those allowed per site, mate. And that goes on the same bloke that gets around with the boombox strapped.
There's only one allowed on. There's only one. Okay. What? That's just great. That's just great.
Claims to know just fucking made it up. And don't think you can just rock up one day with a bum bag on either, because there's only one of those allowed per site, mate. And that goes on the same bloke that gets around with the boombox strapped to him. Every crew's got one of these.
Yep. Yep, if someone's got the means to play the music everybody loves, and they're on point with that shit, You know, that's how you get a bit of an easier time in the working gang.
Blokes, you know, they're like the site shaman. Anything you need, mate, he's got it in the bum bag. He'll take care of you.
Yep. He's got the hookup. He's got the goods. He's selling it to everybody else. Or he's pulling favors, right? Hey, if I give you this, like, what do I get later? Tell you what, you piss for me next time.
Hey, can you spot me 350? I know you got it, man. I know you got it. You. Good
That's
bloke,
another
mate.
one, mate. Under no circumstances should you ever loan a scaffolder money. Any money you lend a scaffolder, mate, you are never seeing again. That's just how it is. I mean, these blokes...
Job site money owing. Who the fuck is Kaylin? I didn't see a female on that site the whole time. Wait, the rest are men. So who's Kayla? Is she like the local hooker? God damn. Marcella Montoya. Yeah, that tracks. $4,000. Yeah, that tracks.
are on 250k a year, mate, you know, but if one of them...
Wait. I read in the description some names, and some of them were on that list.
...circumstances should you ever loan a scaffolder money. Any money you lend a scaffolder, mate, you are never seeing again. That's...
Declan Evanson. Oh, I wonder if these are some of the people that also contributed to this video in some way.
just how it is. I mean, these blokes are on 250k a year, mate, you know, but if one of them tries to buy something sensible, like a house, everyone turns on him, because he should have spent it like a scaffolder and bought an inflatable nightclub business off Facebook Marketplace for 90 grand.
Hey, 400 butt tube.
Oh shit, that's safety, mate. What he just asked for does not exist. Pure gibberish. So that's either safety or the drug mob, but we didn't sign in this morning, so they can't test us anyway, you know?
Yeah, shock cuz. 3 of those inflatable trannies too, eh?
Bluetooth. Yeah, that's the beauty of scaffolder, mate.
What? Is that a frayed safety line?
You know?
Yeah, shock cuz. 3 of those inflatable trannies too, eh?
Bluetooth.
It looks like it might be a frayed line, but I can't tell.
Yeah, that's the beauty of scaffolder, mate. Most safeties are smart enough to realise that a bunch of blokes out on bail for assaulting police officers don't really acknowledge the authority of a yellow vest and clipboard, which means most of the time it's a pretty hands-off operation. Oh, they've just sent him on a piss run. Now, under no circumstances should you come back with anything other than heavies or some sort of grain alcohol, mate. If you come back with some sort of hazy pale ale 0.9 standard, mate, you might as well go into witness protection.
What? Oh shit, bub. Oh shit. Just get whiskey. Just grab a you know, a fifth or a gallon or one or if you could find them, I don't know if they make them anymore. They used to make some that were in the gallons range. Well, anyway, it's pretty great. I don't get all of it because I miss a lot of it because I don't know half of what he's saying. But these guys do good.
Hey, fellas, I'll just get you put another section up there, eh? That's a fucking scissor lift job all
Mate, just
day.
get in with the fucking scissor lift. Look at the time, mate. It's fucking 1 o'clock.
How about job and knock, fellas? And I'll tell you what, if you...
Yep, the most important rule of all, mate, never underestimate the true power of the job and knock. There isn't a force known to man that can get between a scaffolder and their favourite recreational activity, punching on with bricklayers down the pub.
That's what you get, you freaking dog. That's it, mate.
Sorry, boys, this is all they had, hey?
He got me. Come on, mate. Come on. It's my hat now. It's my hat now, mate.
With the bricklayers. Oh shit, Bub. That's great. That's great. True, there's quite frequently on the job violence. But yeah. Good to see it's everywhere though. So it gives some unity to the construction workers of the world.
Ah, no.
Not bad for 0%, hey?
That's all they had! I will fucking kill you and your whole entire family if you ever give me that shit again!
What is the job?
If you show up with something 0.9 standard, mate, you might as well go into witness protection. That's great. I like it. I like it.
Eating a meal, a succulent Chinese meal, and you, sir, are you?
Oh, it's this guy, the tree. He's an oak tree, I swear to God. They could not get this man to do anything. And there's quite the video of this man just standing there. And there's something like 5 police or something trying to get him into a vehicle and just failing.
Waiting to receive my limp penis? How dare get your ta-ta and farewell.
Jack Carlson, 1942 to 2024. Are you ready to receive my penis? Oh, that's a good hold there, sir. You have been practicing your judo, have you? The dude was an oak tree.
You know what, mate? Gamble every fucking thing, mate. Red. Fucking win. All them in a row, mate. See that there? Taking that home and putting that straight onto me fucking child support bill that I have not paid.
Well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I didn't get all of it right. I've never been a scaffolding guy. I've helped. I've been a scaffolding, you know. They either call you a honey or a bish. So kind of like the tool monkey, right? Or the tool boy. Doesn't matter what age you are. If you're starting from the bottom, well, you're bottom compared to everybody else. That's how it goes. Well, anyway, I liked it. It was pretty cool. I'll subscribe. Fuck it. I'm not doing shit else. Well, the PC hasn't bottomed out yet. Let's see how hot you are. It's not doing too bad. It's not doing too bad. Any shoe. Let me double check the control panel. Okay, cool. That being said, awesome. I'll add this to the stream. And that goddamn dog out there is yapping. Her dogs, not mine. Cause Layla, she's over here. She's asleep. She's dead asleep. Original content. Wait, no. Why is... Oh, because it reused the I reused the settings and I forgot to switch that shit. Oh well, too bad, so Vlad. Nobody gives a fuck. Alright. Wait. What was his name? Garn. Every scaffolder ever. Alright. Put the link in so they don't come back and sue me for copyright. Just in case. I have severe trust issues. I don't know if anybody has caught on to that. Well, that was pretty fun. What's going on here? Not much. And I'll leave that. I'll leave this one as its own thing, so that I could just go back and add it to the stream. Hopefully, it doesn't screw up stuff. Guys, a shit ton of these are all great with every trade. I'll try not to watch too many of them so I don't get burnout. I'm burnt out with fucking everything else. I was going to say, I thought I saw a different logo there. Well, anyway. Oh, I'm a dummy. I'm a dummy. Let me refresh this chat real quick. All right, cool. Back to live chat. Awesome. Now let me look at my control panel. Oh, wait. I forgot to put it in Discord. Well, fuck. In the brigade assembly area. It's alive! Anybody seen the old school Frankenstein? It was pretty good. That and All Quiet on the Eastern Front. Alright, cool. Fire Mango, I don't got too many. I don't want to take them all up. All my requests will be music, so... Well, this sounds like a perfect time to do another request then. One that I haven't gotten to yet because I've been delayed by everything else. Have y'all seen Count Dankula? Where's the Count Dankula one? Oh, I know. I'm in the brigade. Okay, request. But it just feels wrong to do Count Dankula when there's not a lot of live viewers. It just doesn't feel appropriate. It feels like I should have a lot of people in the chat first before I do a Count Dankula. Well, I haven't seen this one by the Fat Electrician. Oh, it's a super short one. I'll add it to the live anyway. The Fat Electrician. Paste. Whoops. And then put a link-a-dink. And of course I'm going to like it. It's a Fat Electrician. Fire Mango. It appears that it dropped to me. What do you mean dropped? The stream dropped? As in the stream drop connection? Oh yeah, I should probably add him to the thing too. The Fat Electrician Garn. I guess they block him or something. Whatever. Save that shit. Make this small again. Scrug. Firemango. No, like everyone else left. Scrug, I'm still here. The YouTube thing is being screwy then. Yeah. YouTube hates me. I'm the wrong skin color to be doing this and be successful. Anyway. So from the Fat Electrician. The Model M 1911 anti-cap projectile, the 45 ACP. Let's go. I'm down.
Today we're talking about the 1911. One sidearm to rule them all. Forged in the fires of Mount Doom. Wait, that's the wrong story. Today we're talking about the...
Okay. Yeah, I pretty soon I'm going to rewatch that whole trilogy with my son. The original Loader trilogy, not the new garbage crap, whatever they tried to do.
1911. And while wielding it may not make you invisible, if you get hit by it, there's going to be a lot less of you to see. Invented by America's patron saint of hole punching, John Moses Browning, this pistol has won 2 world wars and was America's primary sidearm from 1911 till 1985. And even after 1985, when the military switched over to the M9 Beretta, a lot of special forces units kept using the 1911 because they like the stopping power. But I'd rather have the M9 because I have 15 rounds of 9mm and the 1911 only has 8 rounds of 45 ACP. Buh. Look, if you need more than 8 rounds of 45 ACP, you either need to suck less or bring more friends.
Which, as someone who has used all the platforms you can name in the military, including the ones you put on things, so your heavy weapon systems, your medium weapon systems, your light weapon systems, you name it, I've used them all. One thing I refuse to ever use is the SIG P320 though. The one before it was pretty good. It was okay. The SIG before the 320 was okay. But well, the one after, no. No, SIG fell off. They went Corporal Borpro and they just tried to rake in the money. And that's it. Anyway, but yeah, no. So 45 ACP versus 9mm. If I'm in, like a close, if I know I'm going to go urban and I'm going to be facing, I got to hit them one time and either drop them with 2 or 1. That's a bit of a hard choice, but it also depends on availability. I do like having more ammo. So when I used to get out our 1911s, right, our 45s, I'd still get an extended mag. And then I'd have a slide holster. I don't know if they're allowed. Wait, do they still have those? 45 slide holster for extended mag. I don't know if they still have them anymore. I know the military made them. I know in the Army we had them, but no, I don't see it. Yeah, I don't see it. Wait, what about the one that John gave me? The 4.5 leather. It was a leather slip strap holster. Because I used that as well. Okay, it was similar. It was similar to like that. All right. Okay, closer to this one. Right. So we had one like this that was leather, and so there was another one. There was another holster they tried to make us use. It was a piece of shit. I'll show you this fucker right now. Black Hawk tactical holster. Piece of shit. Absolute ass. Where is it? Okay, I know Black Hawk makes more than that one holster, but they probably got better, but I don't think by much. But there was a holster they used to have us wear that was like the fucking it was the leg strap holster. And what it did was that it cinched into your fucking belt loop, right? And then it stretched down to your leg. That fucking thing didn't stay in one spot for shit. It was absolute ass. Total garbage. On every level. I used it for one mission, and then I chucked that fucker. I didn't... Look, I got back to my vehicle off after that mission, and I took the strap off, I took the holster out, took my mags out, I put my weapon next to me in the fucking seat, and I threw that fucking holster on the roof of a random building. Cause fuck that goddamn holster. That piece of shit had my weapon all over the goddamn place. Right? Cause I had to sprint, I had to run, I had to jump up shit, I had to climb after some fucker, right? And then my weapon ended up going down, and that's when we had a, I had one of the scars, the new weapon system, the SCAR. I had a SCAR with me. The fucker malfunctioned almost every goddamn round. I was so mad. And the only thing that kept me in the fight was my 45. But I had to keep reholstering the goddamn thing. And then, a couple of the guys had to go back around the building. So I was like, hey, take this fucking thing and throw it in the bed of the truck. It's fucking useless. So I had my 45 with me, and that was it. That's all I had. I had shit else. And that fucking Black Hawk attack holster, assault holster, whatever the fuck they called it, bouncing around. It was like sometimes inside my goddamn thigh, sometimes it was behind my ass, and I was having to like adjust every time I had to do some shit, and goddamn it drove me fucking insane. Anyway. So yeah, like when we were done with that mission, I took my weapon out of it, I took the magazines out of it, and I took that fucking holster and I just chucked it at a random fucking roof somewhere. I was like, you fuckers can have it. God damn, that thing was a piece of shit. Thank God our 45s, right, were double action. I'm happy for that. But my God. That shit pissed me off to no fucking end. And then after that, I got a leather holster. But yeah. Absolute piece of garbage. Where is it? Where are you, you leg holster piece of shit? Well, anyway, whatever. It's irrelevant, but I hate the damn thing. It almost got me killed. Of course I'd be pissed off. Oh, shit. Anyway. So, yeah. So I got something similar to this, but it was more of like this style of holster. But what it had, it didn't have a button strap. Right? It had a flick strap. So it was similar to this one. Oh, okay. Okay, it's almost this one right here. I don't know if y'all can see that real well. Well, let me look at it. No, close enough. So I got one basically like that. No, I can't buy your stuff. I'm fucking poor and broke. Sorry. Wait, well, well, fuck. That's too small. Anyway, it's close to this one. But it had a flick strap at the top, right? And the flick strap didn't go above the back of the hammer. It went around the back where that freaking magazine release is. And so, what was cool about it, though, is that it was cinched at the top so it didn't touch your magazine release. So you weren't accidentally launching magazines every time you had to run somewhere. It was great. But it was peaked, and then it was doubled at the apex of the grip, so that it held on by using the grip. But then when you pulled it out, you just flicked the strap, and the strap, right, was internal to the holster. It wasn't wrapped around the outside. So all I had to do was, when I reached down to grab it, okay, I just flicked the strap out of the way and my weapon was good. Otherwise, I could sprint around that sucker. I could climb shit. I could run around, and it was awesome. It was perfect. If you get a holster that attaches to your shit right, like basically on the belt, pretty safe and pretty good bet. Sometimes what I do is I would put it onto the molly, I keep forgetting the name of that dumb shit, the Alice system or whatever, the mole system. Before that, though, it was before we had all that, though, we had like the IBAs with minor ones, or we had the LBEs, the load carriers, the load bearing equipment, and it was like a buckle. And so what I did was I figured out I could fuck with that buckle, and I would take my 45 and I'd have it right there. And then, like, you know, I always had it ready. Or if I had extra shit up here, later on I did, when we ended up upgrading all our armor and getting better shit, a lot more shit, but a lot better shit, then I would just web it right there. Or I would have it on my side if I needed something else up here, like when we got the Net Warrior system or the HUD sets. So anyway, yeah, man, load bearing carriers. Who remembers those? LBEs. LBE. I don't know if anybody remembers these. Yeah, there it is. There's the LBE. And then we got different versions of them too. Later on, they did, I guess, kind of upgrade them, right? You had the quad strap, you had the single strap, right? I started out with something similar to this one, but we still had the other ones too, right? So like the ones that were just over the shoulder. But later on, we got the extra little clipper in the middle. But yeah, it was good stuff. It was good. I still have a couple of these too, and I still have some of my old rucks. I got a lot of old shit with me still. Well, anyway, I went on a fucking tangent on that shit. Well, oh yeah. So I wouldn't have just a flushed magazine, right? I would get so ours were double stack. Right, because all of the 45s we used were custom. They weren't your regular ones. They just used all the same action and mechanics. But they were customed, and they were double stacked. And man, having that extra bunch of rounds, like having that 15 round mag, 16 if you put one in the chamber, then just reload the magazine. You can run amber all day on these. Lifesaver. Now, if I had to use 9mm, I would. But what I'd do is that I would try to see if we had any type of rounds that were either just solid, or we had the anti-personnel specialty rounds. I forget what they're called. Anyway, sorry, long tangent. Super long tangent. Let's see. Let me read the chat real quick. As a man of modernism and tradition, the 2011's it for me. Well, Jonathan, how you doing? Fire. They have fixed it from a competition pistol into a more reliable everyday carry. I don't know. Nowadays they got some racing guns that I wouldn't mind having converted into tactical weapons. There's a 45 racing gun I got to shoot not too long ago. Fucking amazing. So smooth. Right? I smacked that thing around. I dropped it. I threw it. Right? I smacked it around. You know, I threw it into mud and everything, and that thing worked. So it was amazing. Well, anyway. Also, Badger, do you know about the 50 1911? I do. Only used it once. Only used it once. Never again. Never again. Jonathan, I don't know much about guns, but my cousin has a lot of them. All right. Well, that's good. Get to learning, because if we all get nuked and you're one of the survivors, it's going to be a free-for-all. There's not going to be a government left. Let me see. Jonathan, lucky you didn't shoot your leg or your butt, right? Thank God it was double action. Otherwise, I'd have been a heap of trouble. Fire Mango. The 1911 has grip safety on top of its normal safety. Yeah. It's double action. Although I've seen guys who use the single action, I guess they do it because they think it's cool or something. They got customs that are single action. I don't understand why, but they do. It's kind of weird. Jonathan, that looks nice. Fire Mango, that's too small. Badger 2025, that's what she said. Thankfully, Nelia has never done me like that. I actually don't know. Actually, she's never commented on it. Interesting. Moving on. Do I like 10 mil? I like 10 mil. Some platforms of 10 mil are pretty good. Like the 10 Foglio. The 10 Foglio, I don't know if anybody knows about the 10 Foglio. Let me. Foglio 10 millimeter. I've had one before. They're pretty good. I had one that was similar to this version. It might have been EAA. I'm pretty sure it was EAA. It was like European American or some shit. But it was the pro version. And I don't see it here. Well, anyway, I had one similar to this one. And it was pretty freaking good. I must have put like 10,000 rounds through that sucker. I didn't have a single jam. They made it very well. But I don't see the one that I had up here. But it's similar to this. It's the same style, right? It's kind of close to this one, but not quite. But yeah, I had a 10 mil. Although if I do get another 10 mil, I might get Glock. Because at least it can be done. Jonathan, you have one of those machines that takes spent bullets and remake them so they can be reused? Nope. Too expensive for me. I'm a broke boy. I'm an Army veteran. I don't have any money. If I could get one, I would. I'd love to. But unfortunately, I can't afford it. I can't even afford to fix a PC. That's how garbage shit is. Can't wait to get the hell out of this place. Or go back to Iraq and make some good money. I'm still waiting on word from the mercenary company. Fire Mango is notorious for failure rate. Not if you get the highest, not if you get the maximum load. or at least in my experience, right? I didn't have any jams, but I tried another 10 mil, and they had just your regular rounds, like your regular loaded rounds, and boom, every like 5 or 7 rounds, jam or failure to load or failure to eject or some shit. So instead, for mine, I got max load. Frickin' you're loaded for, you're basically loaded for buck with that fucker. Or some people call it bear shot, but you're not killing a bear with 10 millimeter. That's not happening. Not gonna happen. 10 mil is pretty cool, but 10 mil hits like a truck. Oh yes, it does. Oh yes, it does. If it works right. Mango. Nelly has extensively talked about my size on stream. What? Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. Nelia. Woman. ¿Qué es eso? Oh, ¿qué estás? ¿Qué estás haciendo? Oh, mierda. Well, I mean, I guess there's a reason she's in love with me. Or something, I don't know. It feels screwed up, right? It feels screwed up. But oh well, I get I guess I did too much. Oh, woman. Oh, shoot. She says those African genetics hit. I guess so. I guess so. I am a quarter North African, so it makes sense. Mango. I'm currently torn between 45 and 10 mil when I have the funds available. Well, do you need it for a specific purpose? Is it just self-defense, or? Because nowadays you can kill someone the same with a 22 mag as a 9 mil. Hell, even 22 Super Hornet. But yeah, 22 mag, you can end somebody with 22 mag. Couple rounds, a round to the dome and 3 or 4 to the chest, they're done. Especially with how small it is and how fast it's moving. And when that thing breaks up, especially if you're a good shot, you're ripping someone's aorta directly in half. Whereas 45 or 9 mil might just go straight through unless you have special ammo. Right? Which, it's a mixed bag, really. Rounds do weird stuff in the body. I've shot somebody in the face. And I mean in the face many, many, many times. Right? With different round types. I've done 9 mil. I've done 10 mil. I've done 45. Okay? 380 a couple of times when we were sparse on armory. But yeah, and I've done it with 22. No, not 22. 5.56, right? And I've done it with 12 gauge. So yeah, 7.62. And they all have different effects. Some of them have some kind of consistency, but even if you hit somebody in the same spot, right, with the same round you used yesterday, it could have a different effect. There's been times when I hit somebody like in the face somewhere, all right, usually around the center, because you want to try to see if you can affect a round, because you want to lower the chances of it hitting the skull and then fragmenting or breaking apart or not penetrating, because that does happen sometimes. Rounds do weird shit when they hit the body. But yeah, and you know, same round as yesterday, except today the round took off part of their face instead of making a giant hole, right? Or sometimes the round will go clean through and then out the back of the skull and frickin' rip shit out the back of their head. Couple of times the round went through a guy and it went inside of his skull and then rattled around and came out his neck, which was crazy. I was like, what? When did I shoot him there? Well, anyway. But yeah, you know, in Iraq and Afghanistan, quite often, you know, these guys will be on some type of stuff. They'll be on some kind of drug. There's some of them that are doing a lot of that shit all at once. There's a guy who I shot. What happened was is that my red dot sight got smacked around too hard. And I didn't realize it until I shot this one guy. And I came around the corner, right? Because this guy, he took some shots at me while we were going towards him. And he goes around the corner, down the block, and then to the end of the block and just around the building. And I chase him down, right? And the rest of my team, you know, they peel off behind me to try to get through and make sure that he doesn't go around us. And I come around and I see him, right? Now this is me. I had to jump off the build. So there was like a ledge area where there was a balcony. We were near a bazaar and there was my vehicle right below it. Thankfully my vehicle was high enough to catch me. And he was running off that shit and off and over and then started shooting at us again. And for some dumb reason, my gunner was actually out of the freaking vehicle when he wasn't supposed to be. I didn't know what he was doing at the time. That was my thought. I was like, where the hell's my gunner? This guy's still alive. Well, anyway, so I jumped off this balcony onto my truck, right? And then I one hand off my truck and I'm chasing this guy down. The rest of the team squirts out the building behind me. We chase him around, right? Everybody peels off. I come around the corner and this guy's smoking some heavy shit. Whatever it is, every time he toked it up, he did that number. And I saw him do it a couple times right when I came around the corner. I come around the corner, okay, and I pop him a couple. Well, apparently only one round where it went where I wanted it to. Because the freaking, I guess I rattled the dot side too much. But one round hit him here. Like chest area, like just above where your sternum is. Just above it. And one round hit him in the face. I wasn't trying to hit him in the face. At all. So the fact that I put 2 rounds down and they went 2 different places, I was like, oh shit, my zero's done. Damn it. Well, anyway. So, part of his face is gone. Gone. Completely gone. Like the round hit him here. Whoa. Disappeared. You can see his, you know, the inside of his skull and everything. All right, have a good night, Fire Mango. Be safe. And by the time, right, we finished doing our sweeps and everything, because he went down. He went down and he stayed down, and that's what mattered to me. I was like, all right, we're done with that one. Okay, all I did was go up, kick away the weapon, empty it and everything, so some other sucker couldn't pick it up, right? And then we come back. Maybe an hour later, after finishing sweep and doing all the other stuff, right? And we were required to give medical attention to any survivors. I didn't like that shit, but it is what it is. He was still breathing. His heart was still beating and everything. I was like, what the F? I thought that by the time I came back, he'd be done. Well, turns out he wouldn't. So we ended up having to waste a perfectly good stretcher on the fucker, and he was still breathing with most of his head gone. Plus a round that went like right through basically his whole, like, somehow he was still alive. Turned out later, they decided to, test all of his shit. You name it, that guy had it in his system. It was wild. And then a couple of times, right, I'd have gunners put a burst in a dude. He'd go down, then he'd start crawling to get back up and trying to stand up. And then I'd have to have my gunner put another burst in him, right? So yeah, just if somebody's on a whole lot of stuff and they ain't feeling nothing, seems to give them some superhuman something. Not enough to take 2 bursts, but I mean, hey, that's why they give us the extra ammo. Anyway, let's continue the video. Apologies. Long tangent there. All right, let's go.
Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I don't like 9mm, I do. I'm just saying if something goes bump in the night and I have the option, I'm reaching for a 1911 and 45 ACP. I mean, it's even in the name. How many rounds does it take to solve a problem with the M9? 9. How many rounds does it take to solve a problem with the 1911? 1. And then you're gonna have to call 911 to pick that shit up because you can't just buy body bags off Amazon, even in America. Holy shit, I stand corrected. It's even a bestseller.
What's funny is that these are the exact same goddamn body bags we used when I was in the Army. Exact same ones. And it's a bestseller. Oh, damn. That's either corporate accounts or lots of people committing some shenanigans.
American Special Forces units love this weapon so much that they have their
There we go. There's that good old 45 right there.
own variant called the M45A1, and the absolute only way to get your hands on one is to be in a Special Forces unit.
Not exactly accurate. Actually, Rangers can have them as well. And on top of that, if your unit is so inclined, if you have a unit, anywhere in the military that's so inclined to swap, and they get the authorization for it, and they get the funding and the budget, they can order these. So it's not exclusive to SF. Anything that SF has, anything that SOCOM has, actually, Special Operations Command or whoever, other people can get it. It's just extraneously freaking difficult, but they can still get it. It's just that SOCOM gets all the good stuff first. Whatever performs the best stays. Whatever doesn't perform the best gets handed down. For free, usually.
So why did the baddest men on the planet prefer this weapon? Well, because in a way, it wasn't really designed for conventional unhealth care. It was kind of invented for veterinary unhealth care. You see, in 1899, during the Moro Rebellion, American forces would go toe-to-toe with the Tan Sun rebels. These guys were known for having extremely high battle morale and a little bit of a drug problem. Like, they did enough opium to not care if they got shot type of a drug problem. And the pistol that they had back then just didn't have enough stopping power. So identifying this unhealth care deficit, Uncle Sam wanted to get a bigger bullet. A bigger bullet means a bigger hole, and a bigger hole means less bad guy. That's just simple arithmetic. And to figure out the best size bullet for the job, Uncle Sam decided to conduct a science experiment. And it got violently American very quick. It was known as the Thompson.
Violently American very quick. I like that. That's very true. It's very true. There's a reason why the rest of the world still looks at your average Americans and thinks we're insane. But it's a good thing.
Lagarde test.
It's how you conquer most of the planet. By firing shots and not having to at the same time. And sometimes still firing shots just because you want to.
And basically they just took a bunch of different sizes of bullets and they started shooting cows to see what the smallest bullet was that would still kill a cow with a single round. You know, because that's not overkill. 150-pound bad guy, 2,000-pound piece of livestock, potato, same thing, I guess.
You know what? That makes sense. I mean, you don't want it to suffer. You want it to go down one shot. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Look, I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying it happened. So the results of this science experiment were that the next pistol needed to be chambered in 45 ACP. John Moses Browning then specifically designed the 1911 for 45 ACP. I'm trying to tell you that this thing is rated for bovine unhealth care, okay? Uncle Sam wanted to switch over to the M9 to save some money on ammunition, and the Special Forces community was like, fuck that. This thing's built with anti-cow technology, it's fucking awesome. If it'll stop a cow, it'll definitely stop a bad guy. Stopping power is not even a good term. It's more like you're gonna go the other way now, power. You get hit with this thing, you're gonna look like a video game character whose controller just got disconnected.
I mean, that's one way to put it. That's one way to put it. Right? I mean, sometimes the bodies drop right away. Sometimes they do weird things before they go down. It just really depends on... Really depends on how much it takes, where you hit them usually, and if they're going forwards, back, or sideways, or, you know, like I said, rounds do weird stuff when they hit things.
In conclusion, the 1911 is one of the most popular handguns of all time. In modern day, available in multiple calibers and different sizes and barrel lengths, including 3, 4, and 5-inch barrels. But in the US military, it always has and always will be the 5-inch barrel, which has affectionately been dubbed government length.
Yep.
Because nobody fucks like the government. Merch and other links available.
Well, ain't that true? Well, ain't that true? Well, there we go. From the Fat Electrician, the M1911, the anti-cow projectile, 45 ACP. .45 ACP secretly stands for anti-cow projectile. You know what? That's what I'm going to say from now on. You know what the ACP stands for in 45? Anti-cow projectile. Was talking to a very sharp World War II vet last summer. At some point in our conversation about the 45, he reminded me that the guys who measured their bullets in millimeter lost the last 2 world wars. He was a real treasure. You know what? That's true. My dad was a Marine infantryman in Korea, Rock Army. When I asked him about the 1911, he said, the thing about 45 is that if you hit the guy in the wrist, it'll spin him around and drop him enough to give you a second shot if you need it. I always found that to be a particularly specific example. I like that. That's great. That's great. Well, anyway, there we go. That was a good time. I already put it on the live stream, so I'm copyright safe and all that. Oh wait, no, he doesn't do the copywriting thingies. What's this going on? Oh, she about to do the bow staff stuff? You want to watch a cute Asian girl do a bow staff thingy? I want to. Let's see. Oh shit, copyright. Can't do the music, but I can watch the video. Let's see if she does it good. She probably will. Could probably whoop my ass with it. Yes. Okay. Yes, that's right. All right, darling. Now take it away. You shun us enough. Yes. That's how you start to learn how to spin the bow staff. Very good. Very good. I prefer my bow staffs to be about 15 inches longer than that one, though. Pretty good job, though. Pretty cool, huh? Oh, dang. It's like an hour and something into this one. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to refresh this really quick. Cool. Refresh my chat. Cool. All right. Awesome sauce. Yeah, she's good with it. I'm a little bit, I think I'd probably end up being a little bit slower than her, but I'd have more power with a bow staff. Any smoozle. What else can I do? I did it live. Boink. All right. Holy shit. People are loading me up with requests for uploads. All right. Don't worry. I'll try to get to uploads as soon as possible. And then I gotta do this one when I can get enough people in a live stream. Because I love Count Dankula. So what I'm gonna do is copy link. Paste it down there. Not this one. Lol. Just needed to put it up front. Okay. All right, cool. So, ooh, more news. But I'll watch that later. People don't like that. People don't like that very much. Well, anyway, is anyone still there? Oh, okay. Well, I appreciate it, Jonathan. Scrog, ditto? Okay. Well, let's see if we could, Jonathan, I hated that Beckett dude from Pirates of the Caribbean. Beckett dude. Oh, yeah. Lord Cuckler Beckett. Or Lord Cuckler Bitchett. That guy. Yeah. The cheese, I think, was kind of worth it for that scene because it looked cool. Right? The scene where, you know, a ship of the line, a freaking ship of the line getting absolutely busted. Or at least I'm pretty sure that was a ship of the line. They did put that part together in the movie very well. Because he thought, oh, I got bigger guns. He thought I got bigger ship and more guns. that means I can win. He didn't understand naval tactics, right? He didn't understand you can get crossed on the T, right? He didn't understand that you could flank on water. He didn't understand you could force an enemy to chase you down, then force them to overtake you, right? He didn't understand none of that shit. He didn't know what he was doing. If he knew what he was doing, right, he would have kept one of those ships right in front of him and not let them get but he didn't know what he was doing. But yeah, a freaking man. I loved how he didn't see it coming. Then when he realized, he was so shocked he couldn't give any command. Well, that does happen to some people, right? There's people who got no business managing, warfare or combat in any shape, sense, or capacity, but they have the authority to try and impose their will in such a sphere, time and place. Oof. Politicians and whoever created the dumbass Geneva Conventions, the laws of war, and the rules of engagement, and all that stupid ass bullshit. The Marquis of Queensberry never had to clear a frickin' house with, 10 people in it with machine guns. Well, anyway, it's those same people who never been to war, who cost the lives of many people because they put these retarded rules over us to try and make war, more palatable. Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Just like that scene in Heart's War. I'm not going to be lectured by someone who enjoys the freedoms I provide, but questions the manner in which I provide it. I 100% agree with that. You want peace by any means? Well, then conduct war by all means. Jonathan, yeah, it's because it was because we wanted something better and we got soft. We got soft, and the reason why they did all that stuff was because of like media and newspapers. You do not hate the mainstream establishment, journalists, news media, and reporters enough. Those people should be strung up in the street for how many people they have caused to be needlessly sacrificed on the altar of on the altar of I'm trying to remember the word for it. On the altar of being politically correct, I guess I'll say. Or on the altar of left stupidity. All right? You know that old phrase, shut up, hippie? Fuck off, liberal? Well, it's got a lot of weight behind it and a lot of bodies behind it, too. But yeah, it's just, man. It's just not good. Just not good. Well, anyway. Oh, damn. No way. He made a video on that too? I'm going to have to wait to see, I'm going to have to wait to see that one. Until we have more people. Any issue. Oh, brother. The Babylon Bee, bub. That's great. Ooh, someone brought the BR to life. Damn, that looks cool. I want one. The BR-55 from actually I think they kept it past Halo 2, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, man, that's great. That's great. Well, anyway, let's pick something, shall we? Wait, I don't know if that'll be copyright. Never mind. Yeah, this will be copyright. I don't know if that would. Actually, I'm getting kind of tired. I could go to sleep. That's true. That's true. What time is it? Well, fuck, it is 10 o'clock. Oh, you know what? You want to watch some Pause with me real quick? It's only 17 minutes. A woman lost a court case in California? What? A female lost a court case in California. Maybe the earth is healing. Civilization might be making a comeback, man. Anyway, let's watch some.
I am a medieval.
Let's watch some Pause real quick. Although I'm not a big fan of the new Avatar thingy. I'm really not. It just no. It's too. It looks too lipsticky and plasticky. I like Pause, but not this thing. But anyway, thankfully she doesn't do copyrights or nothing. It's all free view. Why it sucked to be a medieval assassin? Reaction. Hell yeah, let's do a reactionception. Reactionception, let's go. VTubers in general or that one in particular? No, I'm talking about the new model. Because she had a different model before that was perfect. It was just fine. Okay, it wasn't as... I don't know why, but this just puts me off right here. This thing right here just puts me off. Her old avatar was fine. Let me see if I can find one with her old avatar. So this one, she had this one, and then I believe she had another one on stream. Oh no, she didn't change, but yeah, this is fine, okay? This is fine. This is all right. I like this. Nice and simple. It's not, it's not trying so freaking hard to look closer to Uncanny Valley, right? I like this. I like this a lot, okay? I don't care about any of this, okay? You've seen it on one woman, you've seen it on them all. None of the rest of this really matters to me. It's irrelevant to me, honestly. I've been with so many women, they all blend together. But this one, I'm like, this one, it's like, it just, I don't like it. I don't like it. It puts me off to no end. I'll still listen to her, right? I'll turn them all on. Her, Smug, and all them. But this just, and the nails. My God, the nails drive me insane. Maybe it's because it reminds me of a cheap whore. Like this shit. Like that plasticky eyeliner. You know, having like 8 different layers of plastic lips. Okay? And then the fake nails. The rest of it, it's whatever on the rest of it. I don't care. Although I prefer dresses. I like dresses. Like pretty dresses. I like dresses. On a female, dresses are great. But yeah. Anyway, let's see what she's up to. Why it sucked to be a medieval assassin. Here, I'll put her link in the chat. I gave you credit, pause, just in case you look at this. Any schmoozle, let's see what she's gonna talk about.
Medieval girly. I like medieval stuff. I like medieval fantasy. I like medieval games. But yeah, I would not want to be in the medieval times right now.
Plus the mouth, it looks plastic too. It just all looks way more fake. Before it was like, you know what? It's an avatar. Now it's like you're trying to force your way through the Matrix or something. And then you turn into plastic. I don't know. I can't really explain it well.
So today we're going to be watching Why It Sucked to Be a Medieval Assassin. Because, well, assassins are kind of cool in games. If you're new here, hi, my name is Pause, and
if someone's able to be an assassin nowadays and get away with it, still really cool. I mean, just the fact of being an assassin today, when it's more than too easy to get caught doing everything. Shit, this year alone, we've been seeing assassins get caught left, right, front, up, and down the center, right? Hell, last year, a bunch of them went after Trump, and every single one of them got caught. If you're able to pull off assassination in today's modern age, right, with cameras everywhere, you're insane, you know, in your existence, essentially. Because it would take a lot to do that now.
I enjoy reacting to a variety of things, so if you like the vibe, stick around and find out.
You're born somewhere between 1092 and 1210 CE in a Kohistan castle in Persia, modern-day Iran. Sounds cool, right? Well, not really. Timing couldn't have been worse. Your family's excited, sure. On the 7th day, they even name you after your grandfather.
Oh,
Dude died in battle years ago. Hopefully, that's not foreshadowing. But speaking of battles, you're basically born into one.
I never considered that.
Yeah, it's been under siege for months.
Are we sure that someone is excited about us being born if it's been...
Jonathan, Assassin in medieval times just reminds me of Assassin's Creed. Well, the original one was in medieval times, I believe. And then they came up with some other ones after that. It just fell off for me, really. The original one was great. The second one was pretty great. Third one was still pretty great. Fourth one, fifth one, just, they started really falling off. They started losing it with me, at least.
under siege for so long. If anything, I would feel dread for my child being born in such a situation. But that's just me. And I never thought about naming yourself after like dead people is kind of like could be considered foreshadowing. I'm like, huh, he does have a point.
The Seljukes are outside, and they're not exactly here for tea.
Here come the Seljuk Turks.
Your dad and uncles are out there fighting for their lives. But hey, your birth gives them a quick excuse to catch their breath. Probably the last good news they'll hear for a while. After the naming, yep, back to dying. Life inside the castle really sucks. No one's coming in. No one's getting out. Food? Basically.
Odyssey was okay. There was quite a few things in it that didn't really work too well, but I mean you like first Ezio trilogy, Black Flag, Syndicate. Even though it's controversial, I liked Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, there's something in each one of them.
Gone.
Yeah.
Water? Good luck with that. The little that's left is stupidly expensive. If you're not rich, you're probably dead already. Or, you know, on the menu. Yeah, rumors of cannibalism are going around. Nothing screams happy childhood memories like wondering if Uncle Reese is planning to season you with some salt and pepper. By the time you hit 7, the siege is finally over.
By the time you're 7, holy moly. Oh. I mean, to be fair, is it any different than how it is now with people just staying indoors all the time and not going out? I don't know.
Well, back in the day, there was a lot more reason to go out and do things. Nowadays, there really ain't. Not really. I don't blame the younger generation for being secluded. Especially since most of the younger generation are suppressed, oppressed, and discriminated against, war waged on them for the last 30 years. You know, men. Back in the day, people didn't have their beds buried in their phones and laptops. That's true, but there was also more good things about the world back then. Now, half the population hates you for existing. Just because you're the literal opposite of that other half of the population. And then another half of that half of the population wants to take all your stuff from you when you've worked for it all your life. And then another half of that population is ending your kids and not allowing them to have a chance at life because they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas and their pumpkin spice latte. Wait, I think I just described the Western female on average to a T, didn't I? Yeah, I think I just did. Not to mention the egotism and narcissism, it's a pandemic with the Western female now. Even 30 years ago, they didn't make them like they used to. Forget 50. But yeah, nowadays, I mean, what incentive is there to go outside? Actually, Jonathan, from you, right? Because I'm old enough to remember before the internet, right? I remember hearing about the very first email that was publicly sent. I remember Netscape. Netscape, Pong, Worm, and then the IBMs when those were coming out and shit. Oh, the Max players. The Max players where they had just the 2 button and that little stick. God damn, I'm getting up there. I'm getting up here in years. But anyway, Jonathan, I mean, what incentive do you have to go outside yourself? Is what I would ask. Plus, the government is trying to make age restriction on regular social media, which might be a good thing as it might entice more people to go outside, but it sucks that it's not about that, bub. It's never about that. As a former Fed, all right, as a former Fed, it's never about protecting the children, and it's never about doing what's best for you. It's about power and control. Always has been. If you think anything opposite, well, I mean, I do have a Dodge truck. I do have a Dodge truck that has been to every single continent. And I'll sell it to you for $100,000. It's not about anything people usually think it is. The whole kids and doing what's best for you stuff, it's all tripe. It's a smokescreen. So they can flank you. Don't fall for it. Ever. Never. Never at all. Don't fall for it. I mean, look, I like what the Republicans have kind of been doing and what Trump's mostly been doing for them, but there's still a lot of smoke and mirrors going on, bub. It's just different people that are, well, flipping the switch. But yeah, what entices you to get outside, Jonathan? You let me know. What gets me outside is to go on runs and run errands and, you know, take my son to go ride his bike or something, or to go shoot or something, or to train. Jonathan, I don't have much incentive to go outside unless I want to go somewhere. I used to play sports outside, but I haven't done that for a long time as I got older. With how many parks have become, you know, have become terror centers, I don't blame you for not going to the park. With how many kids are just getting snatched straight up off the street, and law enforcement in a lot of places ain't doing jack or shit because they fired all the people trying to do the right thing and then did DEI hires in their stead. And they don't care about you because you don't look the same as them. And they don't care about nobody else either. They're just trying to get a bag. And places are getting shot up because they're allowed to be. To sow discord and terror and make sure people don't vote out the people they should. Create the crisis so you can pretend to be the saviors and just talk a big game. With all this type of shit going on, not to mention the danger to young men nowadays called the Western female. And she's outside all the time trying to hunt you down so that she can get a TikTok, virality, and she can take shit from you or put you in jail because she has that power. With all this other shit going on, I don't see any reason I should try to shame the younger generation in going outside and fulfilling the role of a Western man when there is no Western female that's even remotely close to worth it. Get a passport, young man. Get a passport. That's what I'm doing next. And I've had nothing but success overseas. I just have to figure out how to set up permanent residence over there. Jonathan, I used to go biking too, but you always got to end up replacing the tires, so I'm not to mention all the crazy drivers trying to run you over now. Yep, especially if you don't look the same as they do. I used to say it's not all of them, but it's always them. Nope, it's all of them and it's always them. The fatigue is real. Scrog, random. Holy crap. I just saw it's 97% humidity right now. Is it high where you guys, where he's at? I don't know about that one. I don't know where Jonathan's at. But me here in El Paso, it's that dry heat. There's no humidity to be had. Zero humidity. Scrog, I do golfing on occasion. Okay. I'm guessing you do it by yourself. Yeah, we're all in Texas, ain't we? Funny how that works. Don't let the accent fool you. I'm not from here. I guess I picked up an accent while I was in the Army. I'm originally a dirty inner city ghetto kid. But yeah, we're all in Texas. We're all in Texas. Well, Scrog says he's not from Texas, but he lives in Texas too. I reside here as well, though. We'll see how long that continues. We'll see how long that continues, because my country's thrown me into the toilet. Still. No matter what else I've been trying to do. So if I can't get this last, once I find out if I'm getting this contract or not for mercenary work, if I don't get this contract, then most likely I'm going to take my boy, pick a country that sent me an offer because they actually want my 15 million in military training and my decades of experience on every continent, right? And they will actually pay me what I'm worth for it. I've gotten offers upwards of $500K a year to be an advisor. Right? But the trouble is, a lot of the countries that sent me offers and try to solicit my services in such a role and position, about half of them are adversaries of my own country. And I'd have to renounce my citizenship, so that's not something to do lightly. But if I can't make it any other way, and very soon, it's just not worth it to maintain loyalty to a country that isn't providing for me. And I've already ended people and almost been ended, right, for this country for many years. So for things to end up how they are now is a real big giant stab in the back and some piss in the face. Scrog, yes sir. Scrog from Utah. Oh, okay. I'm guessing Salt Lake City, probably. Or no, maybe you're from, shoot. Provo City, probably. Jonathan, some of my cousins moved to Colorado and Nevada. Bub, even if I moved, it's not going to help me for shit. Scrog, a suburb of SLC, definitely not Provo. Okay. That was my first guess, thankfully. Well, anyway, let's keep going, shall we? I'm still here for the moment.
I'm really enjoying. It's my first time watching this creator, so like I did not know what to expect. But damn, I'm really enjoying the stick figures. They're very expressive and funny.
Seljuks are defeated, and your dad made it through, minus an arm. But hey, survival is survival, right? Could have been worse. You could have been dinner. Of course, 7 years trapped in a starving castle leaves a mark. You don't just dislike the Seljuks, you absolutely hate them. Like, ruined my childhood level hate. And you're not alone. Turns out you have an older brother, and you two are basically trauma bonded after that experience.
Oh no, not the older brother.
But it wasn't all starving and praying your parents didn't die. The adults made sure you learned a few things. How to read, drilled Islamic doctrine into your head, and made sure you understood exactly who you were.
The cult of Islam is strong. You can say anything else you want about Islam. It's an evil religion, screwed up religion, effed up in every single way possible. But one thing you can never say about the cult of Islam is that it's weak. But you can say that about everybody else. Islam's still going strong all these years later. Christianity is unrecognizable. So who's actually winning right now? Y'all let me know. And it's okay. I'm part Jewish, but I was raised Roman Catholic. Ain't that a kick in the face, right? And the Catholics slaughtered a lot of Jews on their way to the Holy Land.
Zadi is made.
Jonathan Watson, I could live in medieval times as long as they had feasts like the dwarves. Well, bub, you see, if I end up continuing to be, on YouTube, and I get anywhere, and then if I end up making enough extra money, and at this point I'm close to not caring how I get that extra money, I'm not going to give, I'm very close to not giving any fucks, period. Loyalty is only viable if there is reciprocity for it. Otherwise, it's just a fool's errand. Same thing with morality and ethics. Right? Is doing the right thing if it costs you literally everything? I'm starting to question that. In fact, I'm starting to think it's stupid. But yeah, what I wanted to do, right, was to get land, right? Hopefully arid, good land, isolated, right? Way the fuck away from literally everything else. Private property, so I can choose who lives there and who don't. Who's going to be the neighbors and who is, right? And then set up some kind of like enclave. Condition is it's going to be men first. Men of all skills, trades, and stuff. I'm thinking about 1,000 acres. Starter homes. Get a few hundred people living there. All with the same values, goals, and, ideology and everything. No troublemakers. Because they'll just get ended and then buried out back or something. But, yeah, and then establish a nice, strong fortification all the way around it. Keep all the evil things out. And then so long as everybody works together, okay, there's a good, strong, established hierarchy. And everybody puts in their fair share. Everybody contributes. I'm not talking about communism, by the way, although that works at the smallest level. It never scales up. I've been to a couple communes that were actually really good. For filthy communists, that is. And, yeah, something similar to that, but just for us, right? And then if you're going to bring a woman, if she ain't a virgin, she's not merging. Right? So they got to apply. And that's how that'll work. Better yet, we'll just bring women from overseas and have our own little enclave like that. We'll get superior females from overseas to Western females. And then we'll just over time overtake them because they don't believe in having kids. They just want to take your kids. But yeah, I would love to have like a longhouse. You know how the Vikings had longhouses? Where it's like, 200 feet long or something. Everybody can fit in there. You have a big giant feast and everything. I'd love to do some shit like that. Have the kids running around, getting into trouble. Have like a big giant spot where there's like a dance floor and stuff. Right? Have a little stage for concerts and homegrown shit. Like the better version of a community center. I don't know if people know about those anymore. But yeah, something like that. Right? And then, the hierarchy will go in the priority of necessity. Because the very first thing that you need are warriors. You need soldiers for safety and security. If you don't have safety and security, you have nothing else. And so the people at the top of the food chain will, of course, be former soldiers, veterans and former warriors. And then everybody else is going to be directly under their umbrella of safety, security, and protection. Right? Because you can't have one without it propped up by the other. So they both have to be under the same tree. But yeah, and then basically go forth and prosper. Be fruitful. I think people would live much better lives like that. Trouble is that it takes a lot of money to affect that. It takes a lot of money, and then you have to try and discern between those who are what they say they are and those who just are. That'll be the hardest part. Because there's people who are called rhinos, and they're Democrats wearing a Republican's skin. Like a character in a video game. It's just the skin. It's just cosmetic. Otherwise, they're Democrats and traitors. So yeah, like stuff like that. But yeah, I'd love to do some shit like that, man. I'd love that. I want that more than anything.
Persecuted by pretty much everyone. They tell you about Sayyidina Hassan I Sabah taking Alamut Castle, and how now it's your turn to pick up where he left off. And honestly, you're here for it. By the time you're old enough to understand what a sword does, you've already decided you're gonna use it. There's no let's talk it out in this era.
I don't even think they have the choice of I'm gonna use it. I'm pretty sure they are forced to use it.
It's simple. Kill or get killed. Your brother,
Yeah.
same mindset. One night you both sit your parents down and tell them, we're joining the fight. Your dad, proud, lost an arm, but gained 2 sons ready to finish what he started.
Oh
Your
my
mom,
god.
terrified. Pretty sure she saw your guts spilling out in a vision or something. But feelings don't really get a vote here. It's your dream. And once you understand that, well, there's no walking it back.
That's why women cannot rule the world. They're not willing to do what needs to be done. Too bad, so sad.
At 9,
I love the fact that they're just nodding like, yeah, I can, yeah.
a group of warriors shows up at your castle, and they're definitely not here to deliver food. Nope, these guys are
boy.
recruiting boys for a special unit in the Nizari Ismaili military. You, your brother, and a few other kids get picked. And just like that,
All of
your
them get
childhood's
picked.
officially over. Congrats. Your parents? Heartbroken. But what can they do? It's for the greater good, whatever that's supposed to mean.
For the greater good. Surrender, human. If not for you, then for the greater good. The greater good is coming towards you from my bolter, alien.
The greater good's got a bad habit of costing people their kids. Next up,
Wow. I I mean, he's not wrong. He's not wrong with that one. Yeah. To be fair, one would assume that assassins had better odds in a way. Maybe not.
Alamut Castle.
Definitely
If you haven't
shorter
heard of it,
lifespans.
Just know it's the place. The Nizari is merely military and political HQ.
The Malamute, dude. Or was it the Malamutes? It was Malamute or Malamutes. Those guys were beasts back in the day. They could go toe-to-toe with frickin' Templar Knights. And the Templar Knights were the best. Give me a sec. I gotta go check on something. All right, let's continue.
Basically, where kids go in and killers come out. Boys from every corner of Ismaili land are brought here. And from day one, they start drilling the same stuff into your head. Islam, loyalty, and the whole sacrifice thing.
Gotta train him
You're
young.
not. You don't totally get it, but hey, you're ready to die for the cause, right? Right? After a week, they reveal what the special unit
I'm
really
pretty
is.
sure none
You're
of
not
them
just
know that they're
soldiers,
dying,
you're
yeah.
fidais, or, as outsiders whisper, hashashins, killers, shadows. From now on, everything changes, including the way you dress. Heavy armor? Bright colors? Forget it. They give you simple, dark tunics designed to vanish in a crowd.
I don't think that we had really bright colors back then, but I could be wrong. Like, please let me know in the comments, like, if there's like fashion that's super bright and colorful. We do have like the festive stuff that is technically more colorful, but day to day it tends to be a lot of brown because well, you don't really see the dirt so badly on it.
A cloth sash secures your blade. Soft leather boots keep your steps silent.
Oh,
A
the
hood,
assassins.
plain. Forgettable. You
Honestly,
can pull
I
out
love
anytime
assassin
someone looks a little
hoods.
too closely.
I have one too.
Your job?
It looks so
killing
nice.
very important people. Oh, and one small catch. You're expected to die doing it. That one stinks. You and your brother share a look because, yeah, that's not exactly what you signed up for. But no one complains. So, training starts. First, they break you physically. You run endlessly until mountains feel like warm-up jogs.
Oh my
Then
god.
they throw in climbing. Mountains, trees, castle walls. Quick,
What?
silent, like a shadow.
Holy.
It's brutal. Some of the kids don't make it. And when I say don't make it, I mean they literally die during training. But you, you survive. And so does your brother. Because if there's one thing you're both good at by now, it's not dying. Not yet.
Oh, man. Oh, man. And people think I put my son through the ringer. Everything I do with my son comes nowhere close to this. Nowhere close. But nowadays they treat it like it might as well be the same thing. We've gotten so soft.
Congratulations!
After a year of this nightmare, they finally hand you weapons. You meet your new best friend, the Jambia. A curved dagger that's basically designed for getting way too close to someone.
That's what it's
If
called.
you're swinging this, it means you're close enough to smell your target's last breath. And trust me, that's exactly how the assassins operate. Up close, unseen, and absolutely final. Being a killer isn't just about stabbing people. Nope. You also learn to blend in, become invisible. Literally anyone, anywhere. They teach you languages, religions, customs, stuff you didn't even know existed.
Stuff you didn't even... Wait, isn't that the point of being taught things? To learn about things you didn't know existed? Is that the definition of learning?
Pretty much. Although back then it was a much bigger deal. Because to learn about stuff outside of your little village, you had to rely on rumors, whispers, passerbys, and, you know, the note that would come down from whoever and wherever every once in a year or maybe a couple of years. Or there's some places that never saw other human contact back then. Unless they were near some main fair or main road or something. If you were way out of the way, you just stayed there and that was it. That's all you knew and all you would ever know. So to get an education back then, giant deal. When everybody else was in a sea of ignorance. If you could be one of the few enlightened ones that knew about all the things that no one else did, oh boy, that was a big deal. That's why back in the day, being educated was so important. Because that by itself made you important.
That being said, that is the part that I think is kind of interesting, I guess, in learning. They get a training that's very diverse, but also you learn a lot about cultures, about people, languages, customs, various things, right? You learn about the entire world. I wish we had that more in schools nowadays, because, like, I see so many people be shocked when I tell them anything. Like, someone asked me what religion dominates over here, and they were, like, shocked because they're like, huh? That exists? Like, do they not teach you that?
One week you're pretending to be a merchant, next week you're posing as a wandering monk. Basically, you become whatever gets you closest to the target.
Blending in.
That's how long this goes on. By the
10
end,
years of
you
training,
and your brother
let's
are ready.
go.
Not just to kill, but to die. No running, no escaping. Confirm the kill. Whatever happens next, doesn't matter. Paradise secured. Then comes the day that proves it. One morning,
That's
the
crazy,
Grandmaster,
man.
the guy, calls all of you to the peak of a mountain. Says,
Tells you to jump down? Oh no. Jesus Christ. Test of faith? I don't know if that's what's happening, but that's what I assume. Would you jump down?
She's thinking about that Assassin's Creed thing. Where the Templar come to the castle or whatever, and then they jump out the tower to demonstrate they have no fear.
Maybe if I spend the time being indoctrinated like that, maybe. But yeah.
it's a loyalty test. You know it's bad when someone uses the words test and mountain peak in the same sentence.
Yeah.
He picks 3 students at random. Lucky you. Your brother's one of them. You
Oh
feel your
no,
stomach
poor
drop.
Butter.
You don't say a word. The Grandmaster starts reciting scripture about duty, sacrifice, paradise, stuff you've heard countless times.
Oh no.
But this time feels
You
real.
actually have
And
to
then
prove it.
He gives the order. Jump. No hesitation. Your brother doesn't even look back. He leaps instantly, along with the others. The sound when they hit the ground, you'll never forget. Just this sickening plop echoing off the rocks. They're dead.
What's that
You don't
one
cry.
for?
What's the point? He secured his spot in heaven. But damn, you're gonna miss that goofy smile.
And that's how it went. All right, see you later, Jonathan. Have a good one. Thanks for hanging out.
The Grandmaster looks around
Holy
and smiles
shit.
because he knows if he picked 10 more of you, you'd all jump. Right then, he declares training complete. No time to mourn.
That's insane, man. It's like wasting so many resources.
Well, I mean, the trade-off is you get purely dedicated zealots. Yeah, see you later, Jonathan. Have a good night. And, I mean, it works. They conquered everything up to Europe, essentially, with the same exact ideology and methods. Your life here is meaningless, therefore your death is worth more. You get a bigger reward if you die. And that's how Islam rolls.
Could make them jump, but, you know, like, have a nap, maybe? Would that defeat the point? I guess it would defeat the point because they were ready to die and they didn't die and they were tricked, but...
Not that you
medieval
want to.
times, man.
You get
Medieval
your first
times.
mission immediately. Infiltrate a Seljuk castle and wait for orders. And honestly, you're hyped. You've dreamed of this moment. Killing a Seljuk? That's not a mission. That's a gift. It's your first time living among the non-Ismailis. Strange faces, strange customs. But you've been trained for this. Adapt or die, right? So you blend in. Easy. Your cover? Perfume trade on the Seljuk market.
My.
Honestly, you're pretty good at it. Selling fancy oils to people who'd spit on you if they knew who you really were. You smile. You count your coins, but none of it feels right. 6 months later, the message finally comes. Delivered through the Nizari spy network, quietly crawling all over Seljuk territory. Your first real mission.
Ready.
Your target? A Seljuk prince. Young.
Ooh, getting an important mission now. It still baffles me. The part, like, I think the part that's the worst, right, is none of us really think about the boring aspect where you're supposed to just blend in, lay low, and wait, and be in position with no orders. And that could be years.
Ask any soldier, in the time between missions, most likely boring and tedious enough to make it to where when you do get into the thick of the action, quite often you're pretty happy to be there. As screwed up as it sounds. Combat can be addicting. That's why there's so many of us who stick with it. But it's the times in between that make it almost not worth it until you get there.
Uncertainty, to never know whether you're going to be needed, to always be ready, to always be on edge. Like, holy shit.
Gaining influence and pushing hard for anti-Ismaili policies. If it keeps going, your people suffer. Simple enough. Until you read the last part. Escape after the kill.
What?
Escape? Seriously?
Wasn't he supposed
You're
to
a
die?
Hashashin. You're not supposed to run. You kill. You die. That's the deal. The order feels wrong, but it's still an order.
Okay.
You won't be working alone. Another Hashashin is assigned to take out the prince's shadow, the Atabeg. Guys basically glued to the prince. Follows him
Team
everywhere
tagging.
like a lovesick bodyguard. You both start surveillance. Weeks pass before you spot the weak link. Every Thursday, the prince strolls through the market.
Oh.
Most think he's inspecting trade, but you see through it. Turns out his heart isn't in politics. It's with the merchant's daughter. Too scared to speak to her, so instead, he just walks by. Every week.
Every week like clockwork.
That's your opening. The night before the next Thursday.
What's funny is that a lot of this is implemented in the modern U.S. military, even down to your average foot soldier. Even your average grunt understands this much because it's part of what's called recon. And it's part of your troop leading procedures. And it's also part of your Met TC. Right? It's funny how something that is so niche as this way back in the day has become so ubiquitous with good, very, very well trained modern militaries and has become a commonplace SOP. There's certain campaigns overseas where basically all we did, right, because in certain places, how they mark territory or how they mark, you know, where one person's property is compared to the next, or where the land of this one place is compared to another. You know how they mark it in a lot of places? They still do it caveman style. They stack up a bunch of rocks and they paint them, or they put extra amounts of dirt on them or something, right? They stack rocks or they make a symbol or some shit. And that's how they tell the difference. And only they know what those particular rocks look like. Well, in a lot of instances, sometimes part of the mission is to just sit there and stare at a pile of fucking rocks. Oh, fuck. For a couple weeks straight to see if anybody does anything with them. Because that pile of rocks you're staring at, right, is at the intersection point of where there are lines of travel, avenues of approach, places where lots of foot traffic happens. Because people will skirt each other's, property and stuff, but not cross it unless they have permission or something. Or unless there's something else going on. Or unless they're familiar and they work with them or some shit. And you're watching them rock. Staring at rocks for basically 2 weeks straight is maddening. It is insanity inducing. If other shit didn't happen in the meantime, you'd easily go bonkers. It's a similar effect where in certain parts of training, they stuff your butt into a box and then they leave you there for like 2 days. Oh, I don't miss that. But yeah. Or the one where you have to huddle with everybody because they get ice. You know, they freeze the whole place. You know, it's almost like they turn the AC up to 1,000,000. Well, more like a -1,000, but whatever. And you're basically in an ice box. And the only way to stay warm is to huddle. That's it. You're naked. You got nowhere else to go. You're chained up. Sometimes you're chained to each other or just random people, right? Just to mess with you. Just to get you crazy. But yeah, it's just boom. It's a similar feeling to that shit. It's like, but when something finally happens, when something finally goes on, when you see that group of heavily armed enemies that don't know you're there, finally go to that pile of fucking rocks to go screw with something around there. It is such a great feeling. By the time that happens, it's like, okay, today I get to eat. It probably sounds really screwed up in a way, right? Because it's more like, you know, hunters waiting for animals to show up, but animals don't usually take that long. But yeah, just man, it's so funny how a lot of it came from this. It's wild.
Stroll. You and your partner sign up as laborers at the same merchant's shop. No red flags raised. You're hired immediately. The next day, it's game time. You're working, waiting, breathing slow. Every second feels heavy because this is what you've trained for your whole life.
Before he doesn't show
No
up
screw-ups. Right on schedule, the prince strolls by, sneaking glances at the girl. You see it clear as day. He's distracted. Perfect. You move fast, silent, invisible.
Damn.
By the time he sees you, your dagger's already buried deep in his chest. His eyes go wide, mouth open.
Oh my
but nothing useful comes out except a scream.
Useful.
At the same moment, your partner buries his blade into the outer bag. Two
Oh my
kills,
God.
2 breaths, done. You twist your dagger, confirming the kill, and vanish into an alleyway like a ghost. It's over in seconds. No one knows what happened, except your partner. He doesn't run. He calmly kneels, praying, embracing martyrdom as soldiers freeze, too shocked to move. But you're gone, ordered to flee, like a coward. Part of you wishes you'd stay, died with
Flee
it,
like a
real
coward. Oh my
Hashashin.
goodness.
A week later, you're sent deeper into Seljuk territory. Different place, same mission. Your target?
Damn.
A military governor leading a siege on an Ismaili.
That really makes me question, like, how many of them were used as, like, the bad ones, right? The bad ones, like, were they just disposable, and, like, the very good trained ones were, like, told to always survive?
Fortress. And not
I'm not sure if it went that deep, honestly, but from what I remember, they were so good at what they did. There's a point where their home castle or their home keep or whatever got put under siege, and then the master of the assassins went to the tent of the leader of the troops, and he essentially told him, by the way, you're never a moment away from me ordering you dead. Essentially. And the guy was like, oh yeah, I've got 2 armed guards with me. What are you going to do? And something to this effect, I'm probably butchering it. It's been a while since I studied it. Essentially, the Grand Master waved his hand, and he dismissed the king's closest, most trusted personal guards away from him. Talk about an absolute mind fuck. And he had no idea the entire time. That meant anyone and everyone that could be in his camp could be a assassin just waiting for the order. And that's it. Or there was another time they sent a warning to it was either a sultan or a king. And the king was warned, you know, someone said, hey, look, if you don't stop this thing you're doing, I will make nowhere safe for you. And the king just brushed it off like, whatever. And then the next morning, the king found a dagger stuck into, it was either the floor or stuck into the side of his bed where he wasn't laying at when he woke up. Basically like, you're not even safe when you sleep. Like, damn, man. That's incredible. Hey, what's up, JD? How you doing? Oh yeah, JD, how did you like I think it was yours. Was it yours that Nelia did today while I was working on the PC? I'm pretty sure it was. Well, anyway, how you doing, JD? Or was that the other JD? Wait, JDSLC 420. Yeah, well, anyway, irrelevant for the moment. How you doing, JD? We're just finishing up a funny video about the assassins, and we're watching Pause at the same time. And I don't like her avatar very much. I don't like her avatar very much. It looks too fake. Looks like an AI doll. I don't like it. Well, anyway, let's continue. Oh, okay. So the fat electrician request, Cassius Clay, was yours? Oh, my eyeballs. Well, anyway, we're about to be done here pretty soon. I'm going to bed fairly soon. But the PC works now, so that's good.
Just any siege. This
I wonder
one's
what
starving out
determined
families and kids who remind you painfully of yourself. Killing this guy feels personal. You catch him slipping one evening, heading back to his tent for prayer. Perfect timing.
Dang.
One less Seljuk. And just like that, you vanish into the night. No witnesses, no trace. Another ghost kill. And it doesn't stop there. One kill becomes two. Two becomes a dozen.
Oh my god.
Soon, you've racked up more high-profile kills than most Hashashins ever live long enough to dream of. Honestly, it should have earned you martyrdom several times over. But instead of sending you to heaven, Alamut calls you back.
They call you back?
You march straight in and tell them exactly how you feel.
Oh my
You
god,
accuse
the
them,
rage.
accuse of stealing your chance at martyrdom. You were ready to die. You wanted to. That's when they finally tell you the truth. Not every Fidai gets to die. Some of you are meant to live, to lead, to train the next generation.
To lead.
Someone has to keep the machine running, manage networks, pass down skills.
Interesting. So that's
that someone
why.
is you. They promote you, master of the Fidais. You hate it every second, but you obey. Now it's your job to train the next wave. Boys no older than you were when your brother leapt off that cliff without hesitation. Wide-eyed kids still clinging to the idea of honor, glory, heaven.
And you have to lie to them too.
Because that's what it really is. You're not showing them how to live. You're preparing them for heroic deaths no one will ever remember. Names that vanish the moment their bodies hit the ground. Every boy that steps into your courtyard, you see your brother. You see yourself.
Damn.
Every drill, every lesson. It's just another slow funeral. Generations come and go. You watch them grow, sharpen, and march toward their deaths. While
That
you
sounds
stay behind.
depressing, man.
Eventually, even the sect leaders start to fear you. Because a man like you, survivor, killer, ghost, knows too much. Knows where the bodies are buried.
Oh
because you
no.
buried most of them. They stop giving you orders. Stop visiting your quarters. You're not their master anymore. You're their ghost. The last ghost in a castle full of memories.
Holy shit, that was so freaking wow. No retirement, no nothing. You just end up living there and working for the cause until. Wow, okay.
That's all you know and all you ever will know. That was a good one. I like that. Well, anyway, there y'all go. Here's the link sauce. Well, what'd y'all think? What'd y'all think? I liked it. It was good. Although Pa's new avatar I don't like very much, but whatever. I like her voice. She's got a very sweet voice. And I can literally tell what she looks like from her voice. Isn't that crazy? Oh! I know exactly what she looks like. Well, anyway. JD, I'm doing good. We'll watch it when I finish this. Is Scrog from Utah? Yeah, he's from Utah. But outside of Salt Lake. I feel kind of bad, JD. You got in here just in time for me to go to bed. And I think everybody else just left. Let's see. Hooray! We got 4 people. JD lives in West Jordan. That sounds familiar. Wait, can't you pass through West Jordan when you're headed... Isn't it north? It might be. It's been a while since I drove through Utah. Okay, I thought so. I passed through there a couple of times when I was still doing runs with my son. When he and I were transporting goods and precious cargo for people all across the country. So yeah, I thought that sounded familiar. I was like, wait a minute, West Jordan. Well, damn, did I help 2 people find each other that are misconnections? That's crazy. Well, my channel's good for something. I don't bring enlightenment or contribute to anything that's going to make me rich, but I at least help people meet each other. Oh, shoot. Y'all are both on the Discord, ain't you? I'm pretty sure you are. Pretty sure Scrog's on the Discord. Oh, wait, you're Tom on Discord. And then there's JD. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, issue, that was fun. Oh man, I have so many requests to work through. Shit. I'll try to do them all day tomorrow if I can. It's just that I gotta get up, do chores, you know, do my daily constitutionals. I gotta start running again too, a lot more frequently. So yeah. JD. So Tom is Scrog 13. I think that's the one that they were talking about earlier. Yeah. Any sham wow. You're welcome for my services. Oh shoot. Hopefully y'all are having a good time. Well, anyway, that was fun and good, but I'm not too far away from having a senior moment. I need to go get some sleep. But I will try to be up tomorrow. So the PC is not acting as bad as usual. I've got it not frying eggs anymore. Thankfully. It's just that so when it comes to the fans, they work unevenly. So I basically what I did was I unplugged and I took the whole thing apart. I took it all the way apart. You know, scattered all the pieces. I cleaned them out, dusted them out and everything. And I put it all back together. It's running a little bit better, so hopefully that remains. I don't know why a new PC is acting like It's older than me, but such is my struggles. And I can't afford freaking $2,000 for a new one or new parts. So yeah. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it greatly. Thank you to everyone who submitted requests. Thank you to everybody who jumped in tonight and actually did the poll and the engagement and all that. So yeah, that being said, also y'all let me know how Nelia did. So yeah, and then she'll try to do something again soon. I don't know what, whatever she's able to. But yeah, that being said, be good, be safe, make a good life for yourselves. Don't compromise safety and security for nobody and nothing. Death and disaster is only a second away. Do what you can today. And I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm Badger 7 Actual, the formerly homeless veteran. BlastCapBadger, out.